Hi guys, so today we are doing factorizing with common factors. That means we'll have to find common factors from the expressions given. So let's get started. So when you see a question like this, 5x plus 15, and question is to factorize it, what do is we try to see the numbers first and see if we can find a common factor for that number. So like 5 is 5 times 1 is a prime number, whereas 15 can also be written as 5 times 3, right? So the factors of 15 are 5 and 3, and this can be written as 5, and then you have times x there. 5x means 5 times x, right? So now we find the common number. So here we can see 5 is the common number. So we take 5 common, we put a bracket, and then whatever is remaining goes inside the bracket. So it is x plus 3, right? So x plus 3. That is the basic form of understanding the common factors. Okay, so that is your answer for the first one. Let's try another question, which is 12y plus 30x. Slightly difficult now with going with the numbers. So now we have 12 and 30. All right, so we have to find a common factor of 12 and 30, or in an easy way, find a times table which has both 12 and 30 in it. And when I look at it, when I look at 12, I can say, it is 6 times 2. And then, 30 can also go with 6, and that can be 6 times 5, right? And then you have times y here, and then you have times x here. Now, looking at the common, we have 6 common, so we can take 6, then we put a bracket, then we put the remaining things inside the bracket. So that is 2y plus 5x. And that is your answer here. Right. So this question number 3 here says 20 CD minus 50 DE. Right, so here the numbers are 20 and 50. So when we find the common factors, 20 can be written as 2 times 10, and 50 can be written as 5 times 10, right? So 10 here will be our common factor, whereas when we go with the letters, we have C times D as well, plus this side we have times D times E. So what we do here is we take 10 common, which we know that we have 10 common. Then we check the letters. So here in the letters, we can see that we have D common as well, right? So when we have D common, we will write D outside. Whatever is common, we have to put it outside the brackets. Then we put a bracket. We have 2 and C left. So it is 2C minus 5E left, and that is your answer. Right, let's do another question. All right, so now we have x squared minus 5x. So x squared can be written as x times x, right? And 5x can be written as 5 times x. So here we can see we have 1x common in both the terms. So we can write x, then bracket, whatever is remaining goes inside the bracket, and that's your answer. All right, so next question is 4x squared plus 2x. So again, first we look at the numbers. So here 4 can be written as 2 times 2, and x squared can be written as x times x, right? 2x can be written as 2 times x. So now we have 2 common, so we take 2 outside equals, and then we have x common, so we take x outside. Now whatever is left comes inside the bracket. Let's not put that bracket, and we are left with 2x. So 2x plus, nothing is left there. So when there's nothing there, that means it is that number times 1. And so that means we are left with 1. Okay, that's an important thing to remember, that if you take everything common, there is still 1 left, because it is that number times 1. Okay, cool. Let's try another one. Oh, there are 3 terms now. So in this question, we have 5, 10, and 20. So they can all be written in terms of 5. So that first one becomes 5 times x, because it is 5x squared. Minus, that can be written as 10 can be written as 2 times 5 x times y, plus 20 can be written as 5 times 4 is 20 times x is left. Okay, now let's see what we have common. So we have 5 common, so, or we can just strike it out. We have 5 common from each, so we can put 5 outside. We have x common from each, so we can put x outside, and then we don't have anything else common, so bracket. The first one we have x left, minus in the next term we have 2y left, and in the third one we have only 4 left, right? So that is your answer. All right, let's do another question. So that is 24 a cube b squared 16 a b c square. All right, so we have 24 and 16. So when I look at 24 and 16, yes, I know it, both these numbers come in the timetable of 8. So 24 can be written as 8 times 3, and 16 can be written as 8 times 2. All right, and then we have a cube, means we have a times a. We have b squared, that means we have b times b. They are all times. I'm just not writing in a long line, I'm just writing it out there. Here we have a, we have b, and we have 2 c's, right? Now let's see what we have common. So we have 8 common, so we put 8 outside. Then we have 1a common, so we write 1a. We have 1b common, so we write b, and that's it. We don't have anything else common. Then we put a bracket. So in the first term we are left with we are left with 3 a square, a times a becomes a square, and b, plus here we are left with 2, and then c times c is c square. Okay, so that is your answer. And let's do the last question now. So the last question here is 12x to the power 5 y to the power of 4 z cube plus 54 x4 y z5. All right, so we have 12 and we have 54. So 12, when I think of 12, I can think of 6 times 2. Now 2 times something can go, and 6 times 9, because 6 is the bigger factor and we need a higher common factor. So 54 can be 6 times 9, right? And then we have 5 x's, so we'll write 5x. So just for the starting, I would say try and expand the powers of the variables. It just makes it easier. But once you have learned how to do it in your head, you might not have to. Just for the starting base, I would say expanding is good, because then that means you will not have errors in your answers. All right, so now I've expanded. We have 5x 4y z cube, z 3 z's, and then similarly x to the power of 4 is means 4y and z's. All right, now let's see what we have common. So we have 6 common, so we will put 6 outside. Then numbers we don't have common. Then we have x, so we can have 1 2 3 4, x to the power of 4 common, and then y is only 1, so we have 1y common, and we have 1 2 3 z cube common. Now we will see what is left. So we are left with 2, and then we are left with y cube plus 9, and then on this side we have second term we have z square. right? Another easy way of doing this is you see which one is the smaller power. So when you first you find the factors of the numbers as we found, but with the letters what we do is, like here we can see we have x to the power 5 and x to the power of 4. So whichever is the smaller value, we put that value out, and that tells me now that we have one x left here as well that I haven't written here. Okay, so that helps as well. So x to the power 4, x to the power 5, so we will take the smaller one common and then we will subtract to see what is left. Again with the y, we have only one y common, so when we take that common we should have y cube inside, and then the smaller in z is z cube, so we take z cube common outside, and so here we are left with z square, right? So the smaller power can be taken as common, if that helps. But I will still say expanding, just to start with, expanding is really good to understand this concept. Great, have a good day.